a whole nother story. So anyway, Rebecca, some of you don't know that she has been in leadership and she had a baby at the time and lots of life happening. And she's in a different situation now. But she's had a lot of experience. She's been working her tail off this last couple months, working at both the Coeur d'Alene Fair and the Spokane Fair, and really incorporating her new daughter-in-law, Shelby. She's coming down for the retreat and bringing the fun and the party. And she's going to be training tonight on trunk sales, on how to have great holiday sales and how to put that together. And so I'm going to turn it over and put on speaker view. Let's give it up for Rebecca Hughes for our training tonight. Okay.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Yeah.
I am so incredibly excited. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for being here. And I am so incredibly stoked for this training. So a couple of weeks ago when I believe it was April was training and we were talking about gearing up for our holiday sales. One of my takeaways and reminders of like how can we branch outside and think outside of the box to really make a huge difference in your holiday sales this year. I was reminded of what I used to do when I was going through DIQ, when I was a director, and even the years slightly before that as well as after that. And that is around the holidays, trunk shows. And some of you may have never heard of this before, but as I was preparing for this training, I really realized why I love this idea so much because it is so incredibly fun. It is so versatile, and it is a really, really quick way to get some amazing sales. And so, basically, what a trunk show is, and I'm super stoked because I actually put together a semi mocked up holiday trunk. So, you guys are actually going to get an idea of what you could do to pull this off. I really wanted to give an example so that it helped with the visual. And obviously, it's not totally holiday decked out, but you'll get the picture of like what you can do. So basically, what a trunk show is it's where you take your trunk, your car. I'm sure that you guys have seen that trunk or treats are really popular right now. They've really popped up since COVID, and it's the same idea, but you're decorating your trunk Mary Kay style with all of your holiday gifting ideas. And you can do your trunk, you can do your back seats, but the idea is that you basically have a mobile store, a mobile selling machine. And there's a couple of different ways that you can utilize this. So I'll talk about how I did it and then some more ideas that came to me while I was preparing for this. So basically what you do is one of the easiest ways to capitalize this on this idea is that you go to male dominated businesses, because who is it that has a hard time shopping for women? Who is it that has a tendency to think or wait until the very last minute? And that is our wonderful men, right? And so what you do is you find and you think of the male dominated businesses. And I have a list that I'm going to post on the Facebook page and I can post it in Voxer when we're all finished. But you make a list and then basically you contact the owner or the manager. I highly recommend starting with the businesses that you either frequent or the owners and managers. Females work there, that's great too. But it really, really, to start off, it really works great if the majority of the population that works there are men. And then you contact the owner, the manager, and you introduce yourself. You can do it by letter, email. I always recommend going in person with a letter explaining what it is that you're doing. And basically, I just start and be like, hey, my name is Rebecca. I'm with Mary Kay. I come in here often. I absolutely love your business. And I want to know, um, do you yourself have anybody that you shop with for your employees through the holidays? But I really want to offer my gift giving services, right? Because we are a service. You professional when you go in and talk to them. And then basically what you do is you explain, hey, I am going to bring my mobile store to your business. And I want to make it so easy for you and your employees to be able to shop for the holidays. right? Because part of the reason that men have a tendency to wait until the last minute is not necessarily that they don't care, or that they don't want to go shopping, but a lot of them have, they don't have a lot of time. So if you think of mechanics, if you think of car salesmen, think of the two main businesses. This actually makes me giggle just a little bit. The two main businesses that were my customers for about 6 years, I would come and do this, is the state shop. So I knew somebody that worked for Washington State and the county. And I would go and I would pull up in their parking lot, and they would come out in shifts. They would have known that I was coming ahead of time, and they would come out and shop with me. And then the other one was a beer distributor. My parents used to own a bar and restaurant, and I knew the two main and top beer distributing companies that would service our business. And so I asked them for their business. And I would come and I would actually pull right up in their beer distributing warehouse. I would open up my vehicle and I would be there for 2 hours. And so as their guys were coming and going and leaving or coming on shift, they would stop in, they would see what I had, they would shop with me, and I'd walk away in 2 hours having close to $1,000 in sales. And so it's so fun. It's so easy. And basically you just tell them no fuss, no muss for you. I do all the work, but it's a great way to help these guys shop for their significant others or their family members for Christmas and not have to wait until the last minute. The other way that you can do it is doing parking lot parties. And so this can be done with any business, but you go and it's basically the same thing, and you just say, hey, I want to bring my mobile holiday shopping store to your business, park out in the parking lot, and then the main thing is there for the people that are working in the business, but you can ask if you can offer it to their customers as they're coming and going as well. So you can do dentist offices, you can do doctor's offices, anywhere where, just think about the people that they work really long hours, and it's really challenging when they get off work to go and do their shopping. Um, Another idea that I had with this is that this would be so much fun. You could actually get hostesses to host a holiday, um, a holiday trunk party. And that is where, again, same thing. You would, have them host it, find the location, and they would invite all of their friends. And it's all about the holiday shopping. Where this is concerned, obviously, we do want to work by the Mary Kay rule. And you always ask them if anybody is coming that has a consultant, and really, they could come and look at your store. They could make their wish list, but then to honor the Mary Kay rule, I would either have them contact their consultant about what their wish list is, or you take that and you contact the consultant and say, hey, this person was at my holiday shopping party. This was the list they had. I want to turn it over to you so you can follow up for those sales. And always, always working by the golden rule. Sometimes I'll even ask the men if they know if their wife has a Mary Kay consultant or uses the products. Because again, I am very passionate about honoring, our fellow consultants and making sure that the business always goes back to them if possible. But anyways, so it's so fun and it's so easy to just be able to stroll up, and you can do multiple businesses in a day. And it's such a great and easy way to get really, really great sales. There was a director, so like Heidi, and I'm sure Kelly and some of the one April would know her. She used to be a director in Mary Kay. She lived down in the Idaho area, and this was all she would do during the holiday season. She would start at the end of September and work through the middle of December, and she would literally sell between 20 and $30,000 worth of holiday products. And that's all she did was trunk shows, and she would travel from there. She had a route through Washington, and she just had people she knew that would host. She had businesses that she would do, and she didn't do parties, she didn't do facials. All she did was focus on holiday selling. And it was wild to watch her at work. And now she's built this dream life, and she has a ranch and she has a homestead, and that's what her and her little family do now. So anyway, so I'm super excited about personally doing this again this year. So with that being said, I'm going to take you over to my car. Well, it's actually my husband's car, and show you what we've got going on. Um, so the thing about the trunk shows is that you want to bring the holiday spirit. So I need you to think like ultimate Christmas as I open up my vehicle because it's not decked out for Christmas just yet. But I get lights. I dress up super cute. I'll get those really crazy because this is my personality, like really crazy fun headbands. I'll have Christmas music going. And I just have a lot of fun with it and make it holiday awesome. So I'm gonna flip my camera around and I'm gonna show you my car. Um, okay. All right. So this is my husband's car, and literally this is what you do. You just you get your trunk, you get it all set up, and I'll give you like zoom in. And so it doesn't matter the size of your car. Okay, I've got a big, huge van. So for this year, it's going to be super fun. But if you just have a small trunk, you can totally make it work. And so what you do is I always recommend having like a backdrop. So I did white here, but you can do black. And then getting some fun holiday Christmas decor. This little tree right here is literally $1.25 at the dollar store. So you get several of those. And then you display whatever products it is that you want to sell. Obviously, mine are not wrapped and ready for the holiday season because I didn't have time to do that, but I wanted you guys to get a visual that everything that I put in my trunk is always holiday ready. So they're either in gift bags like this, or they are like if I was doing a satin hands or a satin body set, I would have it done up with cello and bows, and then I'd have bags for them to use. But then you just make your display. Okay, you just set it up however the decor, whatever it is that you feel like you want to do, make it super cute. I have music going, so it's holiday festive. I always have a basket of like grab and go, like retired things that are usually wrapped up in cello. I'll have a basket that's got sales tickets. I'll have wish lists in here. I'll have pens in here. I also do, so whenever they purchase a gift with me, I always do um a little card in there that says redeem your ultimate, hydro session, pampering session, or whatever, because I want the women to get in front of me. And so basically this is ready to go. You can do it in ways that when you're traveling, not all of it will fall down. Especially if you have it stuffed in really nicely, it just literally all you do is just open up your trunk and it's ready to go. So then you pull up, you fix anything that you need to fix, you have your holiday music going. Sometimes I'll line it with like some fun LED lights. I'll be decked out as like a super cute Santa or a super cute elf or whatever. Um, and then you just stand here like you would any other kind of, booth. Working it like a booth is pretty similar. And, they come up and you give the different price points. So I always recommend having several different price points for like the 12 days of Christmas is super fun for the guys that want to go extravagant. But then this is kind of funny. Sometimes you have those guys that's like, okay, I want to support you, but what's the cheapest thing that I can get? Right? And I've had a guy that's been like, I'll literally spend $10. I'm like, woo, like big spender there for your woman. But anyways, and so having something in all price points is always super helpful. So big sellers during the holidays and super easy, every woman loves it, is the Mint Bliss foot lotion, right? With some socks. Couple of different ways to do those. The satin hands, the satin lips. Like think of the things that even if he doesn't know what his woman or significant other or sister is into, that that they're going to love them, okay? That they're the hot sellers. And then try and have something at every price point. So $20 items, $35 items, 40, 50, on up to the 12 days of Christmas. And then I always like I said, have a ton of my like retired product, and I'll do those as either stocking stuffers or cute little pillow gifts. And if they're at a loss, which unfortunately most guys are. They just don't know what their wife would like. I say, well, do you trust me enough to give me a budget and I can recommend our top selling products? And so they'll be like, yeah, I want to spend $50. And so I'll give them, I'll pull together a couple of different options for them, because remember that you're the professional. And especially when we're dealing with men, they really do want to be sweet and they really do want to give great gifts. They just don't know. Some guys do. Some guys are amazing at giving gifts. I've made sure to raise my boys. Like, I'm so excited for Shelby this Christmas because I raised Kevin to know how to gift women, right? Some men just aren't blessed that way. And so then that's where your expertise and your professionalism comes into play. You don't have to have, this is the thing I want you to know, you don't have to have all of the products. But I would encourage you to have 4 to 6 key items that you know are going to sell: hand creams, foot creams, the body oil, like anything like that, and specialize in that, and then go for it until you're all sold out. So generally I have like my trunk, like I said, set up like this. And then I use, if I'm not using my back seats as a shopping area as well, I'll use those to hold more inventory. So if you're wanting to have a $5,000 selling season, right, it's recommended, like what we talked about several weeks ago, to shop like a, or to think like a retailer, invest in that product and have it on your shelf, because sometimes, depending on when you're doing it, you can't sell what you don't have. So then I'll use my back seats and I'll open up my back seats and I'll have that as product to restock. So that this looks nice and full, and that it gives us other options and different packaging and everything to pull from. Now, I thought about the girls that have the question, well, Rebecca, I don't have products on my shelf. I don't know that I'm planning on getting products on my shelf by the time that I would start doing this. Guess what? You can still do this. Okay. I really, really thought about this and I'm like, how can we make it accessible for every single person? I'm sure that you know. So let's say, okay, so for instance, um, Jasmine signs up to be a beauty consultant. She's newer in her business. She's still trying to figure out inventory, and whether she's going to invest or maybe she has a little bit, but not a ton. Well, she knows Heidi, and Heidi sure does. And so, what I would recommend where this is concerned is you go to a trusted sister consultant and you ask them, can I borrow some of your product for display only? Okay. You don't sell somebody else's product, but for display only. And you do it up super cute. You set up your trunk show just like this. And then the thing about this is you need to start earlier. So if you're going to do it this way, you really want to utilize and do it in October and like the first half of November. And the reason for that is you want to get all of those sales in, process all of those credit cards, have time for it to ship to you, and you get it super cute, because that's the promise that you give them, is that I'm going to wrap it. I'm going to do all of the hard work for you, gentlemen, so you don't have to worry about it, right? So it's basically grab and go and ready for you. So if you're somebody who doesn't have a lot of consultant or a lot of products on your shelf, ask a sister consultant who might be willing to, maybe they'll go with you, or might be willing for you to borrow it for a couple of days for display only. Okay. And you say, I am an order taking consultant. So I want to get an idea. What would you like? You mark it down, you take the sale, you do all of the things. And then you say, okay, I'm going to have it ready for you by December 10th. It'll be wrapped up and ready to go. No fuss, no muss for you. You've already taken care of it. Now you don't have to think about it again. And you can do it that way. So it's a great way for everybody to be able to participate, no matter where you are in your business. And then you can always do it in shifts. Maybe you were to go out for a weekend, you have $1,000 weekend, you take some of that profit and you do purchase some of your own display only products so that you can give Heidi her products back, right? And then you keep doing it and you do it weekend by weekend or week by week, whatever your schedule looks like, until the selling season is over. But I really want you guys to just really think outside of the box and expand your minds on how could you make this work in your favor. Who do you know that has a business that would let you come and park in their parking lot or park in their garage or park in their warehouse, right? You're not going to bombard their business like inside. Now, on that note, I have done that. I have done table shows at restaurants before. I'll get a business and I'll set up a little table of holiday products and everything. That's not as comfortable for me if I'm being super honest. I like to pre-arrange it with the owner where I can send out a flyer. And that's usually what I do is I talk to the owner or the manager. I make up a flyer that says, hey, expect me. This is what I'm all about. Include your picture because people in general, but especially men, are more likely to purchase from you if you have your cute face on your flyer. Make up a flyer that says the date, the time frame, and why you're there. No fuss, no muss for you, right? Shopping, wrapping, everything's taken care of. And then you show up for your slotted time and then do it that way. That's way more comfortable for me than, standing in a restaurant for 3 or 4 hours, which again, I have done because it's a short period of time. They know you're coming. They know to expect you. They're already thinking in their head, like, what would I like to get for my wife? And then go from there. And then, like I said, it would work very similar if you were having a hostess. Think of who are some of your amazing customers. And this is what I would recommend for people that don't have the space, maybe, to be able to do an open house. Or maybe you live in an apartment. I lived in an apartment for years, and I didn't have anybody close to me that was doing a open house anymore. Things shifted and changed, and so this is a creative way to be able to have an open house, right? But you have hostesses and you just go to them, go to their house, go to their church, go to a park, go, wherever, meet them there, have them host an hour-long party, and then they can earn free product that way as well. Um, but it is seriously such a fantastic way to get really, really great sales and have so much fun at it. My mom is one of my team members still to this day, and her and I used to go and do it together. And we would just share the sales and then share the customers afterwards. And it was such a fun bonding experience. I'm planning on doing it with Shelby and any other new team members that want to come along with me. But find somebody to do it with you, and it makes it so much fun. And but anyways, so yeah, so this is what like a portable shop is all about. Portable trunk show. And there's hundreds of businesses that you guys could go to, you know. And like I said, I have a huge list. I've got a list of about 25 different names that are majority male. Sometimes you can go to construction sites. Sometimes, the main hub for construction business. You can go to, you name it, you can go there. Oh, car salesmen. And oh my gosh, you guys, first of all, they spend good money. So like a lot of the 12 days of Christmas, and if you don't know what that is, look it up. It's pretty awesome. It's where they have a different gift to open every single day leading up to Christmas. But I think about how many car lots we have here in Spokane. So between Spokane Valley, Spokane, and Airway Heights, you guys, there's like 30. Okay. And Liberty Lake is super close. If you think about just contacting half a dozen car lots and asking them to do this with you and to host you and find some way to bless the owner or give them some kind of recognition or kickback, what's in it for them, right? Like seriously, you guys, even if five people bought $100 with you in the 2 hours, that's still $500 in 2 hours. Like it's mind-boggling how quickly this stuff adds up. So I would really, really encourage you guys to go online, look up like Mary Kay Trunk Show. I can take pictures of my trunk now, and I could probably find some of the information on the director that used to do these all the time and just make it a mobile holiday mobile and just have fun with it. You can't, seriously, you can't mess it up. You can't mess it up. And the more fun you are, the more fun you're dressed, the the more it gets them excited and they're like, awesome, this is great. Like I'll have a Santa hat on, you know, like Christmas music blaring out of my car. It's something that's really, really awesome. So, um, I know that was a lot of information, but I am so excited. I am so incredibly excited to do this. I was sharing this with my husband, and his mind was blown today when I was like, guess what I'm training on? And he was like, whoa, I never even thought about something like that. So it's all about how can you get creative and make it work for where you're at right now. Lots of inventory, hardly any inventory. Who do you know? Every single one of us knows somebody in business, banking, coffee shops. You take your car to get service somewhere, right? Who do you know? Your dentist, your clinic, your doctor's office. There's so many ways to utilize this in your favor, um, to get some really, really awesome and amazing business this holiday season. And so I'd really, really encourage you to explore it, to think about it, um, ask questions. And then, yes, Heidi, I will definitely share that list. I'm going to post it on the Voxer group, along with the list of just the different ideas on how you can utilize this in your favor. So male dominated businesses, I've got like half a dozen ideas on how you can use this to your benefit. And then, take the challenge that we got during the Boss Babe series and think, okay, in my 20-mile radius, where else could I go? Where could I take this? Could I take this into Coeur d'Alene? Right? Could I take this out to Airway Heights? Where are you willing to travel? This one director, she lived closer to Boise and she would come all the way up to Sandpoint. She had this huge route through Washington. She would do Oregon. Like there was probably 3 or 4 different states that she would travel in a 3-month, period of time and just sell products all along the way. And it was crazy mind blowing to see what she did during the holiday season. So anything is possible. Sometimes we just need to get out of our own head and be like, how different what could I do with this? Right. So I would love to answer any questions or hear any takeaways or maybe some ideas that you guys might have in how you could utilize this in your business this holiday season.
It's cutting out just a little bit, Rebecca, but I did want to just kind of address a question that I got from Sam, and I get this a lot from new consultants. And it has to do, I'm going to change the view on here. It has to do with like all the holiday bazaars, all the opportunities that come up where people are selling product and selling things for holiday, like in churches and venues and expos. And we can't actually retail the product like off of a table. But what you
Mhm.
can do is now they're letting us actually sample products like, you can have fragrance if it's appropriate, or you can have hand creams, or you could have satin lips with some things people can try. But the deal with whenever you're doing any kind of a vendor booth or a table is to maybe have a basket or some kind of big giveaway and have people enter their names. You can do the QR code if you want people to they would get a gift for actually contacting you to be able to sign up for a facial, or having the little
Mhm.
slips where they can fill out a piece of paper real quick with their phone number and contact information so that you can get back to them. And oftentimes you will run into people that are like, I don't have a consultant and I need this, this, and this. And you say, okay, let me get your information. And when make an appointment to get together with them to drop off the product and that kind of thing. So you can sell that way from a booth, but you can't like have a bunch of inventory there and sell,
Sure.
because you're probably going to encounter other people's customers too. Does that make
Yeah.
sense, Sam? Samantha?
Yes, it does. So sorry. I was
Okay.
trying to unmute.
That's okay. That's okay. Because, yeah, there's a lot of those things. And those are great ways to get your name out there. And that's like what Rebecca just did at both of the fairs, is you're actually engaging with people, you're getting their interest and finding more out about your business or about your products and that kind of thing. You can have cute displays of what would
Mhm.
be available. Like that's what I would do if I was doing a holiday one, is little different, price ranges, gift sets that you could sell and take pre-orders rather than selling it
Mhm.
from the table. So you could do so many things. You and I can talk privately, but I just wanted to address that because a lot of new people ask that question.
Yes, absolutely. And the reason for that, and I'm sure that you said this, Denise, but the reason for that is to honor other people's businesses. We get that all the time at the fairs is people will, you can always tell the ones that are looking for something because they beeline it for your booth and you're like, whoa, these people are really excited. And they're like, oh my gosh, I am all out of oil-free eye makeup remover. Do you have some? And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And I just explained that per Mary Kay, we do not sell out of our booth, and that is to honor other people's businesses. Who's your consultant? I would connect with her, and always refer that business back. That's part of the reason why I do. And some of the guys are clueless, right? Some of the guys are like, I don't know what she uses. And so you can't always really help that. But when you get the information, sometimes I will get the wife's information and I will follow up after I know that they've opened their gift. And touch base with them on their pampering session and everything, and then I will ask them at that time whether or not they have a consultant, and then I let the wife know too, hey, you might want to give that information to your husband because I really want him to purchase from her. Honored to have his business, but right, always working with the golden rule and with honor and respect for our sister consultants, and doing, putting that business back in their pockets and in their hands as much as possible. So yeah, so that is absolutely correct. Any other questions?
I don't have any questions, but since I'm sitting in my office and I had a couple of these left from last year, I just thought I'd show them really quick because we are going to share the link for these. So this one
Yeah.
is the micellar water with a headband on it. And so this just is a little bit better of a reference for you because we're going to be sharing that today. I'm going to personally be sharing that on the Facebook group, so you guys will see the website to get all of these. The pieces of paper that you can make them really cute. I shared it in my girl unit, and then I'm going to do it on the Facebook tonight after Rebecca's training was done. This one is the Mint Bliss with the socks on it with like the snowman face, and we also have them where it's like a girl face, so it looks like she's at the spa. And then this one, these are just the three I grabbed really quick to show you guys these. This one is the charcoal mask with the mask applicator, and then it's got like a gray washcloth around it, and then it says Santa's approved coal. So those are just some of them that are really cute, really easy to do, and those are really good price points. Like you said, this one's basically, is it $12 now? I think $12 for the Mint Bliss. The micellar water is 18, I think, or 20. I can't remember if it just went up. And then the charcoal mask with the mask applicator is a little bit higher. So that one's more like about 40. And you just want to factor in the cost of your supplies. So these washcloths, I'll also send the link for. We're on Amazon. They're less than $1, I think, a washcloth. And these headbands that I got were also on Amazon, less than $1, I believe. So I'll send all of that out there on our Facebook page, so you guys will have all those links and stuff. And then for like the decorating of the trunk stuff, I know there's so much stuff at even Dollar Tree that you guys can get. Amazon, Temu, depending on how fast shipping is with Temu, it might not get here in time for this year, but there's so many like LED lights and different things that you can like kind of attach into that trunk, like Rebecca said, and make it really fun and cute. So it's all decorated and you don't have to like tear it down each time you move back and forth on the trunks and stuff. And absolutely, Rebecca is so on point with this. She has like the most fun personality, if you guys don't know her yet. And so it does not shock me at all that she goes out and does so much of these events and does so good at it. So get with your director, get with your sister consultants. I'm sure almost all of us would be willing to help you with how that's going to be. And then I think Heidi and I are also making a menu kind of a sheet on Canva for the ones that are just going to take orders. And I have a couple of other flyers I'm going to get ready to share here. I think next week. Some more building up to the holiday kind of stuff or whatever. So that's coming too. So we've got lots of stuff, lots of tools to help you guys, lots of tricks, lots of tips. Reach out to us. Get excited, you guys. This is so much fun. And always, always, always keep it in the Mary Kay way.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kelly. All right, anything else for Rebecca? That was phenomenal. And thank you so much for taking the time to put that together to actually show people. It's one thing to talk about it, but it's another thing to see it. One of the ways that I always did the trunk sale is I would have, my limited edition things together. I would have even past limited edition products that I was actually selling at a discount. You can do a lot of different things with that. It's not just the new, it's not just holiday. So I, in the past, when we had our training center, we had everything inside that was regular, and I had my inventory in the back seat, but in the very back like that, I had all of my discounted stuff. So I would take people, I know April does this too, take people to the trunk to see the trunk sale, which is, this is the bargain bin for people that actually show up to your open house. And sometimes people will come just because they know that's the time they can actually get a lot of those things at a discount.
And
right.
doing it that way too is if you make it like it's VIP, it makes them feel extra special. So yeah, that's really fun. What was Kelly's question?
Oh, April's temptation basket. Because
Oh,
April
yeah.
always has that.
I know she shared it
Yeah.
on her training, but I thought it'd be cool if she had it close by. She could maybe pop it on the screen. So then people who watch replays will see it all in one spot if she has it close by. I didn't mean to put her
That's
on
a
the
good
spot.
She's getting it.
Yeah, and I just like I said, just have fun with it, do what you can with what you have. It doesn't have to be current. I have so much retired products that you can, and just have a lot of fun with it. Yeah, see, that's so cute.
So I changed the bow up, but it's basically everything. I have the lookbooks. I need to switch it over to the new line. I have still summer in here, and I took the beach towel and put it in the bottom of the basket. And then I still carry so when I did this, it was spring and summer. So I still had the eyebrow kits in here, the perfume. And then I do keep a little container in here with pins and samples and my business cards and some samples of the little packets so that I can give those out, and the fragrance cards. So I just put everything in there and take that with me everywhere I go. And then behind here, I keep sales tickets. And yeah, that's it. I change it up for every season. I just don't have it up to date yet.
It's awesome.
Anything else for Rebecca?
Sorry. The last thing I want to add is another tip that April saved me with. The very first year I did this, I didn't know. And if I wouldn't have known, I could have really messed it up for years going forward. No glitter on stuff that you're selling to guys. They really don't want glitter on their desks, in their offices, or later on in their clothes. So make sure anything you're taking and showing to guys that they could pick up or move around or touch or whatever, don't have glitter. It can really turn them off from future uses. And I wouldn't have known that if April wouldn't have told us that first year.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, make sure there's no sparkles on the bows. You want plain matte type bows. That is so true. And then the only other thing that I wanted to add to it is when you're decorating your trunk, don't, like what April said, when she was training, do not spend a fortune on this. It's not worth it. So my backdrop, that's literally a white sheet. I have white and black sheets. I will take stuffing. Like I said, this tree is amazing. Like look at this tree. It's like a good sized tree. And I've got lights on it. That was at the dollar store. Okay, you can get twinkle lights, battery powered twinkle lights that you can push on and on, or on and off from the dollar store. You can get little tree decor if you want to decorate your little, Christmas trees or whatever. So just go in, set a budget, spend $12 or whatever, get some fun things, throw it in your trunk. Really, the guys don't care about that. It's more for the fun and the show of it. And then just go for it, right? Don't spend a ton of crazy money. And then the one thing that I encourage as you're moving forward, if this is something that you're like, hey, I want to do this every single year, again, think like a retailer. And when everything goes on sale, 90% off at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or wherever it is, that's when you go shopping and you have a special bin for your holiday trunk shows and just do it that way and just slowly build up your fun, switch it out, things like that. So just, it's inexpensive. Anybody can do it. Even the brand new consultants that don't know anything about anything, just have fun with it. So
Thank you so much.
I was going to add something about the glitter. Guys don't want to come home with glitter on them because their woman wants to know why they have glitter on them.
yes,
And then they have to explain.
exactly.
And you don't want to have to put them in that position.
No.
Hey, we're wrapping it up. Do you have a motivational close, Rebecca?
Oh my goodness. I didn't even think about that part.
Oh, that's
So I
okay.
actually do not.
Okay. Well, this was inspiring. And I know that you thrive when you're in front of people. And so pick your flavor, you guys. We're going to have another in-depth training next week on ways that you can really maximize holiday sales starting now from Kelly. So let's have, and one of the things that I wanted to say real quick as we close, consultants, we are looking for ideas for topics for training and or guest nights that you would like to see us do in the coming months. So reach out to your director, text, Voxer, put it on the Inspired Area Voxer group, and let us know, okay? And awesome training, Rebecca. That was so good. And congratulations to everybody. What a great week. And let's keep this party going and get your holiday stuff. Have a wonderful, fantastic week, everybody. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.